Hey everyone, I'm Joe Bustos and I'm the community manager on Mafia 3, and today we're taking an inside look at our upcoming DLC releases. I'm really excited to announce that our first DLC, Faster Baby, will be launching on March 28th. With Faster Baby on the horizon, I had a chance to sit down with the team at Hangar 13 to get more details on this DLC. Let's take a look.
I'm Hayden Blackman. I'm the creative director and studio head at Hangar 13.
I'm Bill Harms. I'm the narrative director at Hangar 13.
And I'm Ed Fowler. I'm senior writer.
What are you guys feeling about the response to Mafia 3, and how do you feel about our free updates that we've released so far?
Yeah, and on the response side, we're really kind of humbled. I think the response has been really positive from fans. The fact that the story has gotten so much attention, the way that we handled some, I think, pretty difficult themes. And then for me personally, races were always something I wanted to see in the game, just because the driving, and I think in Mafia 3 is best in class and is incredibly fun. And we're always trying to listen to the fan base and see what they want and what they liked about the game in general. So again, the vehicles, being able to customize vehicles and being able to swap out outfits, that was really important to us because we heard that early on.
So let's dive deep into Faster Baby. Faster Baby is going to be launching on March 28th. And can you guys talk a little bit about Sinclair Parish, which is our new environment that we're introducing in Faster Baby?
Yeah, Sinclair Parish is nearby New Bordeaux, and it's a unique location in and of itself, especially given the context of 1968 and the era of the civil rights issues going on at the time.
I think the other thing that's interesting about Sinclair Parish is just how different it feels visually. Definitely going to feel that sense of like, oh, okay, I've just left New Bordeaux for another part of the city, but it's or another part of the county, and it's brand new. And again, it all feeds into that notion of this kind of small town that's trying to, protect itself in every wrong way.
So let's talk about Roxy a little bit. You guys alluded to earlier that she's going to be this companion for Lincoln that's going to be present throughout most of Faster Baby. Can you talk a bit about what kind of dynamic does she have with Lincoln that maybe is different from somebody like Donovan or somebody else we've seen from the main game?
She differs from any other character like Lincoln works with in the game, but the dynamic I think between them is complete equal, and I think that's really interesting. And I think in many cases, like, she actually comes into Sinclair a leg up on Lincoln because she knows who they're dealing with. Lincoln's dealt with a lot of different people in his life, but no one quite like the Sinclair Sheriff's Department.
That was another thing that was really important for us, is that while the focus is on the kind of narrative experience, we also wanted to introduce some new activities and new features. So the first is the ability to kind of slow down time while you're driving for brief stints, which is great when you're trying to like thread the needle, or you're driving through traffic, or you're involved in a mission that has a chase with it. It's really helpful in Faster Baby because, again, there's a lot of kind of stunt driving that we encourage. Another is being able to throw explosives from your car. So you'll be able to toss grenades and Molotovs and from your car as you're driving, both ahead or behind you, which
is so much fun.
Yeah, it's super effective. You got cops chasing you, and you drop a grenade and boom. And that actually came, I think, a lot from fan feedback. People asking, "Hey, do you think we could get this feature?" And we investigated it and we put it in. And again, super helpful in Faster Baby, but also useful throughout the rest of the game. And then we're introducing a new explosive type, which is proximity mines. So these are mines that you can plant, and then as enemies get near them, they'll explode. So you'll be able to use that again throughout the rest of the game. So if you're going into a hideout or on a mission and you have proximity mines, you'll be able to deploy those as well. You'll get access to 2 new outfits, access to 2 new vehicles over the course of the DLC, including the Nightcrawler, access to a new weapon.
So we've got a new activity in Faster Baby. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we call it Herbalism, and you're working with one of the supporting characters in the main story, MJ. And what MJ gives you is an opportunity to grow your criminal empire, pun intended.
In terms of a gameplay perspective, you guys have said before that this kind of builds upon what we established with racing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think, again, we were very inspired by a lot of for the whole game, we were inspired by kind of Hollywood movies where the driving is a big component of it. And we had this kind of, mantra on the team that we wanted to capture the sense of Hollywood action driving. With Faster Baby in particular, we wanted to push that even further and maybe even, Hollywood stunt driving to some degree. So we kind of took over our driving model and built St. Clair Parish to really support it. You know, there's a lot of jumps built into the world. There's actually missions that require you to drive like a madman, you know, in ways that, you know, are different than what you experienced in the main game.
Let's jump into a little bit about the upcoming DLCs after that. In May, we have Stones Unturned, and this is really focusing on the relationship between Lincoln and Donovan. Can you give us a little bit of background on what went into the creation of this one?
Sure. So just like for the main game, it was really important to us to kind of explore and reinforce what was going on in the late 60s. And a big part of that was actually the Cold War. And Donovan is a character, obviously, as a CIA agent who also considers himself to be very patriotic. That's very, very important to him. So it's a good way of us kind of getting him out of the motel room and, you know, out in the field with Lincoln as they go after this common enemy. But it just kind of brings those kind of what's going on in the real world in terms of the Cold War. It just kind of brings it into the game in a natural way that we really couldn't explore in Mafia 3.
So let's shift over. Sign of the Times is coming in July. Can you guys say a little bit about this DLC?
Like you believe that something like the story of Sign of the Times would take place in New Bordeaux. The late 60s was a time of, like, you know, weird cults and all, you know, that kind of thing. It was the era of Manson. Like, thematically it fits with that city. Just the vibe of the city, but also its long history. And this one's more kind of centered around investigations. So it's not just necessarily going in and shooting up the place. It's uncovering exactly what's going on and then using that information to put a stop to it.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We are really excited for Faster Baby, and we hope you'll join us in St. Clair Parish on March 28th. Now, as a quick reminder, you can purchase all of these DLCs individually or collectively as part of our value price season pass. Please follow us at Mafia Game on social media for more information in the weeks to come. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.